cool to be here at CleverTalks. Some amazing, inspirational speaking so far. I want to tell you a story, though. Early 2013, I started a company called Green Shoe Studio. And we're an audio and video company that set out to really kind of change our community one dream at a time. You know, that's something, though, that sounded really good on paper. So we find a dream, we try to make it come true, and we change the world. That sounds good on paper. But applying it to real life was a different thing. We found that people had a tendency of hiding their dreams, keeping them close, for the fear of what people might think. For the fear of what people might think if they succeed or even if they fail. We all have dreams. Your dream may one day to be an actress and win an Oscar. Your dream might be to learn 3 chords on the guitar and jam out with Bon Jovi. I mean, who knows? Your dream could be, I don't know, twerking like Miley Cyrus. I have no clue. It's still a dream, though. But we have a tendency of holding them so close, and I fear that people don't realize that there's such potential out there. So I do want to tell you a story about a man, a 96-year-old man who did have a dream, and no matter what it took, no matter the obstacle, he wanted to see it fulfilled. So like any good story, let's start at the very beginning. 2013, I just started my company. I wanted to launch a singer-songwriter contest to kind of see what was going on locally. A lot of people submitted some amazing songs, but what shocked me next was, since this was an online singer-songwriter contest, people were supposed to upload the video to YouTube of them performing their own song, and then turn around sending us a link. But what happened next shocked us all. We got a submission from a 96-year-old man. I came in one day from lunch, all fat and happy from Panera, and noticed this very large envelope hanging out of my mailbox. And my mailbox, mind you, is this big. So when this thing is hanging out, I thought it was a massive bill, and quite frankly, I didn't want to look at it. But I looked at it and said, Green Shoe Studio Singer-Songwriter Contest. And I thought this was weird. This is an online singer-songwriter contest, so why would someone be sending it in? I opened it up and looked, and it says, my name is Fred Stobaugh. I'm 96 years old. I don't know what YouTube is, and I don't know how to write a song. Matter of fact, I'm not even a singer. And on the back it says, P.S. I don't sing, I would scare people. Ha ha. In like cute old man handwriting. So I was inspired. I was like, this is cool, this is great. But I began to read through the letter and realized that he'd been married for 73 years to the same woman. And she had just passed away. And he said, she just passed away a month ago, and I was compelled to write a song for her. I've never written a song, but I wanted to put my emotions to paper. I began to read the letter and got very emotional by the time I reached the bottom of the steps. I was so moved by his words and his simple lyrics that he sent in. I knew we had to do something. I ran to my team and said, guys, you got to read this. And I just sit there kind of like, what are they going to think? And they all had the same conclusion. We've got to do something with this story and this letter that he sent him. I called him the following day and said, Fred, I would love to take your lyrics and bring them to life. I'd love to do a little short documentary about your life of 73 years with this same woman. And he said, oh, that's really, really nice, but I want to let you know I have no money. I have no way of paying for this. I said, oh, Fred, you misunderstand me. We're going to do this for free. He began to weep on the phone and said, why would you do this? Why would you do this for me? And I told him, I said, Fred, we're not doing this for you. We're going to do this together. Music means so much to so many people, and it speaks to us all. I feel this story needs to be told. I called up the rest of his family and said, would you mind if we go over to his house, sit down and talk with them, try to figure out what we had an idea for this song, what he wanted as far as sound and stuff like that. Get to know a little bit more about him and Lorraine. So we went over to his house, got to meet his family, got to sit down with them, got to figure out how they met. They met in 1938, and that's a long time ago. They met at an A&W root beer stand of all places, and she was a car hop. She brought the trays to the car. He said the moment he saw her when she was walking over with his root beer float, he's like, that one. I'm going to marry that one. And lo and behold, 2 years later, they got married. He told me how they love to go on bus trips to Branson because he said he doesn't really like the highway. People are just crazy drivers. So he drove road buses every year with his wife to Branson. They love music so much. He told me that on days when she was really sad, he'd put on corny music and make a fool of himself, just jiving around, just to get her to smile. And I really just was really touched when he was telling us about the passing of her. We definitely knew we were going to do something. So we ran back to the studio quickly. In the next few weeks, we put his song, or his lyrics, to music. And we were so nervous. I mean, this is 73 years built up in these lyrics. And I'm going to go take him a song that we kind of arranged back together. I was more nervous about him than some of the other artists that I've worked with. I was able to take him the song. And I went over to his house and put the headphones on his head because he was really, really hard of hearing. And I cranked that sucker up as loud as we could go. And I pushed play. And I sat there, and honestly, I bit my nails because I was that nervous. He sat there and he didn't do nothing for a little bit. And I'm like, God, it sucks. You know? But he started to cry. And all he kept saying was, this is beautiful, this is beautiful, this is perfect. So I was relieved. Now that the song's done, I asked him, what's your dream? What can we do with this song? I thought maybe it was just putting it on YouTube or something, he'd say, or iTunes, or just getting out on the radio. He says, I want the world to know about my love for my wife. That's a tall order. We were a brand new company. We had two things. We had passion and we had the skill. But two things we lacked: the time and the funds. So, do we take 2 weeks off of work, do this video for him and this song? Or do we just say, oh, that's a good story, and go on our way? Of course, we're young and dumb. We're like, screw money, let's just volunteer our time. And we did this video for him. And we go to release it. We release it on YouTube, Vimeo. We put it on iTunes and Google Play. And we're stoked. This thing's going to go viral. It went nowhere. For a month, it sat there with only a few thousand views, and the song sold 4 copies. I was a failure. I felt like I just failed. I called him up and said, Fred, I apologize. I didn't really get a chance to get this thing out. We put as much money as we could behind this thing. He said, hey, it's okay, buddy. I just appreciate you doing this for me. But like I said, I felt like a failure. A week goes by, I get a call from one of our producers, and she says, Jake, have you seen the video? It got up to 7,000 views. I was like, well, that's cool, 7,000 views. She's like, no, today, and it's 7 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, okay. Noon comes around, it's 100,000 views, it's 200,000, it's 300,000. It was up to 6 million views by the end of the week. So many people had reposted the documentary we did about his wife and the song. They said that there was a cumulative over 30 million views worldwide what had happened. I was so wrapped up in the success of the video and what was going on, I didn't even pay attention to the song. And one of his grandartists calls me up and says, did you see the song? It's charting. I was like, oh, cool, what's it charting on? She's like, it's charting on iTunes. It's number 6. It just passed Justin Timberlake. And I was like, you kidding me? That's not a big deal, passing Justin Bieber, I'm kidding. So I'm like freaking out. So I call Fred up. I was like, Fred, did you hear what's going on? He goes, yeah. So who's this Justin Timberlake guy? And I was like, why? I was like, he's a musician. He goes, well, evidently I passed him right on by. So I'm like all excited, and I get a call from Billboard Magazine. He said, this is Chris from Billboard Magazine. I'm like, yeah, right. And he said, I want to let you know that you guys have broken a world record today. I said, excuse me? They said, the song is charting on the Hot 100. And Fred is the oldest co-writer of a hit song on the Hot 100 in the history of music. And I'm blown away by this. I was ashamed that I had only sold a few songs. I tallied up the songs that we had sold. We had sold over 240,000 songs. And I called up Fred, and he's like, awesome. That means I can get hearing aids. I was like, buddy, you can buy a house. What are you talking about? So he had a dream that he wanted to get it out to the world, and I thought it would be hard to even get it to my town, quite frankly. I was very excited, and I went over to his house and said, so what's up, buddy? You're famous. You're like the oldest rock star in the world. He goes, well, the story ain't finished. I said, excuse me? He reaches down to the side and pulls out another song and says, there's more to the story, buddy. And he hands me this other lyrics to another song that he's written that we're going to release here in a few months. And it's titled Took Her Home. But I really want to read some lyrics from the first song that he sent me that caused everything to happen. So sweet Lorraine, which was his wife's name. Oh, sweet Lorraine, I wish I could do all the good times all over again. Oh, sweet Lorraine, life only goes around once, but never again. Oh, the memories, they always linger on. Oh, sweet Lorraine, I don't want to move on. Oh, the memories, they always linger on. Oh, sweet Lorraine, that's why I wrote you this song. You know, this song, this video had so many statistics that went really well. He got to go on The View. We got to take him on Good Morning America. We got to do some stuff for Japan. We just all over the world doing some amazing stuff. But one of the things that impacted me the most was the impression it left upon people. We had people sending us thousands and thousands of letters and emails saying, this has revitalized my marriage. I watched this video and said, I have my Lorraine. Why do I treat her this way? There were people that said, I have my Lorraine. Why am I not married to her right now? Why am I not married to him? Someone said that they watched the video, turned around and proposed to his girlfriend right then and there, and she said yes. One person even said that they watched the video and said, if that's love, I don't have it, I'm dumping him. Oh, that one was pretty funny. But it really inspired me to know that, no matter who you are, it doesn't matter how old you are, if you do have a dream, it's worth dreaming. So I really want to challenge everybody to dream and dream big, and not only just dream, but go after it. And I like to always leave people with this question. And I really want you to think about this when you think about it. If you knew you could not fail, what would you do? Thank you very much.